Hello from the Dragon channel. This is sifu again. Today is a video for my disciples and also for the disciples to be. Now I want to explain what are we doing every day with the what most people call it chanting, but it's not really. It's hard to think of a name for this thing. To recite a bunch of spells and scriptures, etc., by using tools that you're familiar with, such as this one, the mok yu, okay, wooden fish, and this one called the hing, okay, it's like a metal bowl and it comes with a baton, a stick, okay, nice sound. Anyway, and there are also other tools such as the bells and whistles. Okay, not whistles, but yeah, you get the idea. Okay, now why are we doing this? Why are you doing this? And do you have to be fully dressed and stuff to do it? Yes, you do. Okay, now what dress to put on is not in this topic, but you do have to dress up properly to do a session of these things. Okay, because you have to understand in our theory of like our other lesson on magic robes, when you put on different clothing, you're working as something else, not yourself. Okay, you're using representing the altar right now, doing stuff to these, or helping the whatever. Okay, you're taking in some other stuff to yourself and executing the magic, not your own power, right? So you need to understand your role, what you're supposed to do. So putting on different clothing makes you a different person. Okay, now of course, as I said before, these robes are all consecrated, okay, and they're not like just a piece of clothing you buy from the shop. Now why are we doing a bunch of these and you can't just, you know, take it and recite, read it over like a book? You cannot do that. Why do we need all the instrument? Because instruments are actually also consecrated, or you can say checked, okay, with the altar. These are like different buttons that will be pressed so that your altar knows what to do. You take the stick and hit the hang. Okay? This is to help you tell the altar to gather in and store up. Okay, it's like a bowl. You put something in, okay, rice, money, anything, it gathers in stuff. When you hit the mok yu, okay, when you hit this, it is going to tell the altar to absorb this command, okay, to absorb the command into itself and process. This is like hitting the mok yu, the wooden fish, is like inputting a bunch of stuff with your keyboard. And then when you want to click enter and shove all these things into the system, okay, to store up, use this. Now when you want to push the stuff that is stored up to come out, okay, you will be like retrieving stuff inside the system. You use the yan heng. This is to help the altar to bring whatever inside the storage to come out, to process, to use it. And there's also other tools for telling the altar to gather in stuff, okay, to gather in. Okay. So there are different instruments for communicating with the altar, what you're trying to do with the altar, okay? There are also things that to select and give command, okay? So these are all different different instruments for you to communicate with the altar, to give command to the altar. So when you're doing this, okay, you are doing a bunch of spells and scriptures and such, but it's not yourself doing it. You are delivering these things to exercise your altar. So your altar every day knows to do a bunch of work, okay, with whatever is inside. Now every day, for our newbies, you know that every day you have to invest and put in your own energy to the altar. So every day the altar gathers in things from you, right? You put in your magic power to these things and the incense, and basically it's absorbed from you. Every day it's like a chicken, right? You feed the chicken, so every day the chicken can keep surviving. Now, if you're raising up a chicken or a kid, okay, you need the kid to every day do homework, do exercise and stuff like that, to exercise it for it to grow, okay, to get stronger. If you just, daily just tell it to eat, that's good, but it's not enough sometimes, okay? You need to give it some brain frying work and just make it work, to ponder, to exercise, right, internally. So doing a rite is a strong way to exercise your altar internally. That is why it's called the king. King is like the middle path of something. It's like your organs, okay? It's like an internal network of stuff that will process things inside, okay? So this is the whole thing about king it's an internal process. So you want it to go through a kind of internal processing session, to go through, ponder, mix, and all that work, okay? After all that is done, then the altar will get stronger because you exercised it in a certain way, a pattern that makes the altar work. And of course, sometimes we can send the whole thing to someone somewhere as well. So, like this is a theory that you should know. Sometimes we can do this for someone, meaning that, okay, now this is the altar, right? When we do our normal practice, we will do the same thing for the altar to start working and process, and that makes the altar stronger. But at the same time, we can do the same thing, but at this time we will pull in someone as the subject. For example, I want to do this magic on Mary, okay? I'm going to use some kind of magic, okay, to put Mary, connect Mary into the altar. Now Mary is going to be the receiving end. I'm going to do all the work on the altar. When I'm done, I shove it off. I send it off. And everything will be shoved to Mary. Basically, it's like, let's say you're making stuff at home, making bread, okay? This is the king, the scripture, everything, okay? Making bread. Now, you can be making bread at home yourself. Or I can be making bread and then sending the bread to Mary. Or I can be making bread, but first let me grab Mary over and then let's make bread together. I can do that with the altar too. So the same kind of work can be done for yourself, for the altar, or for someone else. Basically what it's doing is a bunch of internal processes. And after you're done with that stuff, okay, it will be doing changes to the internal energy of someone, somewhere, or yourself. So this is the main reason why we're doing these things. Every day our practice with these are like doing exercises with our internal energy. And not only yourself, but also the altar. You have to beef up the altar's power by exercising it. And also because you're using different instruments, it also makes you understand how to communicate with the altar better by using tools. It's like when you want to communicate with your dog, okay, you don't say words in English. Sometimes you have to do movement using a bell, using some whistles, things like that. Different tools to communicate with a dog, because they don't speak English. Sometimes, communicating with the TV, you need a remote control, okay? Things like that. So, communicating with the altar, you need different tools as well. By using tools, every day, you understand more and more, and you get it, okay? You get it. And then later on, when you're doing ceremony, you will understand how to use these tools to tell the altar, okay? Push resources here. Get this into the altar, process this, things like that. You understand how to communicate with it. That is why you have all these tools, and that is why you have to do your daily work to do these things, because it's basically it's an exercise that trains the practitioner to get stronger with the altar, and also get the altar stronger. And when you finally need to do work for yourself or someone else, you will understand how to use your altar, and your altar also have the energy to do the work that you want it to do. Okay, so basically that's my little introduction to why we do these daily rites and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll see you next time. Remember to subscribe and like. Bye bye.